welcome to the show tonight. We've got a special guest with us. Aiden has agreed to come on, and he's kindly going to. There he is, just popped up, perfect timing. He's going to show off a little bit of his collection. So, no sales tonight, no giveaways tonight, nothing cool like that. You guys will have to go over to my Instagram account if you want some freebies or if you want to buy some stuff tonight. We're just kind of going through what the collector might think. And you see my little auto camera is taking away from my that's not me moving the camera. It's telling Aiden I just got this piece and it tracks my face, so evidently it's thinking a hand or something is my face because it's just moving all over the place. So anyway, with that being said, you guys welcome Aiden to the show, and yeah, we'll jump right in. So Aiden, what got you into collecting? When did you start? I mean, what kicked all this off for you?
Oh gosh. So it started from whenever I was a little kid, and for Christmas, my mom would just buy them for me, and I didn't know what to do with them. I tried to farm them and break them, and I don't know. And then over time, like these past few years, I just got bored and needed a little hobby, and it it got bigger than I expected.
Yeah, yeah, it tends to do that. So that's very similar to what happened to me, but I couldn't stop. So that was
Yeah, no, I still
that's
can't.
what you see behind me. So it's a slightly dangerous hobby to get into, especially with limited funds. But what type of collector are you now? Do you go out and you hunt for loose pieces? Are you like an in the box collector? What is your collection of?
So I basically find certain ones that appeal to like my style and things like that. Like I'll go and buy them in box, and I'm sorry to the all in box collectors, but I will open them and play with them, and yeah.
Yeah, yeah, the inbox collectors jab, that was, specifically toward me, I feel, no, it's just honestly, and I think I've told a lot of you guys about that. Alex Sanchez is on the channel, what's up, bud? Um, but yeah, it got to the point where, I mean, I'm 47 now, and when I first got into Transformers, I was right at their target demo, like 6, 7, 8 years old, and they were wonderful. I mean, I'd rip open the boxes. Vader's on. What's going on, Vader? Um, but yeah, just I'd play with them. I lived on a dirt road, so they didn't have a very long life. Once I took them outside. Farah, hey, how's it going?
Hey.
I'll try to manage shout outs as I see them, but if I don't, you can feel free to yeah. So uh
Oh,
Red
thank you,
Cap is
thank you.
super fine. Yep, look at there. So Aiden got his first shout out comment already. Um but yeah, so back to what I was saying, I'm a box collector now. Don't open anything because for one, I can't transform them anymore. I mean, they have gotten, especially some of the Bayverse stuff, I'm talking like 30, 40 steps. It's just too complicated for me. I don't have the patience anymore, stuff like that. So I prefer to keep everything in a box. It reminds me of, being 10, 11, and 12 years old going into Toys R Us and KB Toy at the time and window shopping, looking at everything that I could not afford but wanted. So when I walk into my warehouse now, that's the same feeling I get, and I love that feeling. So, playing with it, if that's your thing, that is super great because it takes a special person and it takes someone with an enormous amount of patience. So it's good
Exactly.
that you open yours up. What was the first transformer you collected?
Oh, so from my past, I don't have any from my past. I mistakenly sold them all, and that's whenever I grew up, and I was like, no, I'm a big man now. And then like now I'm 20 years old now, and so I'm like, no, I regret that. But my first would be, it'll have to be this wheeljack, and I forget his name. Diaclone something, but those were my two so far that kicked it off.
That's pretty cool. So you've already teased us a little bit. So it looks like now you've got them all lined up on a shelf. Are they in any particular order or just as they fit? Do you have them up there by line or how like recently you acquired them? How do you have them set up?
So here, so this first top shelf, it's basically the Autobot alliance that I put together in my head
Nice.
with the three Optimuses in the back. And then these are more
And you have
of the
three
Autobots.
Optimuses just in case you have four hot rods that want to get in the way and get Optimus killed, right?
No, exactly, exactly.
Sorry, I've
And,
got to throw a hot rod jab in there at some point during every show. So
and then this is more of the Autobots. That is the only inbox that I do have. The only one.
yeah, that's actually a pretty hard one to get. So yeah,
I had
with
found that at Comic Con actually.
yeah, I believe that's is that side swipe with Lieutenant
Yes,
Elps.
with
Yep,
Sergeant Epps.
Sergeant Elps. Yep, yep. Very hard one to find. I've got the side swipe with flash freeze. I think it was the flash freeze assault. I've got that one, but never had um, that particular one. So yeah, it was nice, very nice find.
Yeah, I actually got that for $80 actually, which wasn't too bad at all, honestly. And then I have my Decepticons. And
Sorry,
then
I'm
I also
down,
do have one of these
down
shells.
here reading the comments. Let's try to keep the comments. I don't know, a little more show based. That's what I would prefer. I see a couple questionables. I don't know the history or if you guys are friends or whatever, but yeah, let's try to keep it. Doesn't have to be PG, but at least PG-13. So
Yeah, I have no idea
that's
who that is.
that's my only request. But anyway, yeah. So yeah, keep going. Sorry to cut you off there. I
All
was
right,
just
no, don't
talking
even
out
worry.
loud.
And then I do have another Decepticon shelf with they are protecting Posty.
Good old post pops.
Good
Yeah,
old Posty.
I got that. So what is your prized possession in Transformers or basically anything in your collection? What is the one that no matter what happened, they're not gonna pry out of your cold dead hands?
Oh, so this is a custom one that I had found online, and I do have it in my kitchen. So,
Nice. Very nice shockwave. Yep. Dark of the Moon version, I believe.
yeah, and it
That's
comes with the oh my gosh, the digger that he drives,
yep.
and it's made completely all out of Lego.
Wow. Yeah, that's pretty impressive. So why is he in the kitchen and not with the rest? Just being nosy. there
Um,
there has to be a story there somewhere.
so I was like, where am I gonna put this guy at? And I had I had a lazy Susan in the kitchen, and I was like, that would be kind of cool if I just put him on there and like I could spin him a little. And I got up on a ladder one day, and it took me like 30 minutes setting everything up, and I was like, he's up on the lazy Susan. I'm not touching him. He's
Yeah,
staying there.
there you go. Yeah, I can see that, especially Legos. You don't know what's going to happen with Legos,
Exactly.
whether or not they built them and actually glued them together, for permanent display,
No,
or if
yeah.
they just kind of hand pressed them together. And then, I mean, once you, yeah. So looks like Frankenstein, the Pepsi mail away Optimus Prime from the '80s, is his. So my question to Frankenstein was, which one did you get? Did you get the Pepsi with the trailer, or did you get the Pepsi that has the trailer that holds the 20-ounce bottle? Because there were several.
I want the popcorn bucket, the Optimus Prime popcorn bucket.
Yeah, yeah, I've seen those. I actually tried to get one. I've got a little bit of movie memorabilia. Tried to get one of those, and they're just, yeah. I'm not paying full on asking price
No, mm-mm,
plus fifty
no.
dollars just to try to get one. So yeah, yes, with the trailer, not with the pop holder. Yeah. All right. So I've actually got the other one. I want to say, was wondering if it was still up there in the back, but yeah, somewhere up on this back shelf is actually not that one, because that would be the G1 Ultra Magnus, but I actually have the Pepsi, but he comes with the trailer that holds the 20-ounce Pepsi bottle. So yeah, and I'm mailed away for him, kept him. He's never left his box. So he's yeah, he's contently just sitting up there. So um Aiden, roughly how many pieces do you have, like, all together?
I would say roughly over 130 or so,
Nice.
and counting still.
And counting, yeah, I was about to say, because it seems like I've got a shipment for you almost every every other week, which is great for me. But yeah, it's
Oh
yeah,
no, it's
you're
the best for me,
getting
especially coming home after work.
that.
I
Nothing
actually
wrong
did
with it.
get this guy in today from you,
What was that? I can barely see
Nova
it.
Prime.
Nova Prime, sweet. Yeah, so came in, no damages or anything, packed
Nothing.
pretty nicely. Sweet.
Everything I
That's
get from you, nothing. No damages, nothing.
That's the best, because you would not believe it, some of the stuff. So I have actually custom boxes that I have made just for me, or just for the business that, so if you buy a Voyager, or you buy, something like this, or even this guy, I can throw him in, good old automatic camera doing what it wants to. I can throw it in one of my custom made boxes, throw some couple of bubbles around it, and throw a sticker on it, and it's out the door. But when you get into stuff like the Titans, the big masterpiece like the Sky Warp and the Star Streams that I'm looking
Yeah,
at here, when you get into the really large box, you've got
yeah,
to
like
start
good guys.
custom making boxes. Yeah. And
Yeah,
it yeah. Yeah. So what you got there?
this was Bone Crusher. I still haven't got to transforming him yet. I For all my guys, I have to transform them. I go on YouTube and look up transformations.
Yeah, yeah, I would imagine that that makes it a lot easier.
I'm a
Yeah,
visual
I,
learner, so I have to
I
see it
can,
visually. I can't
I
look at the
can,
instructions.
I can match you with that one. So yeah, I have. It's definitely one of my more favorite of the masterpieces. Which, and then I got, guys like this, but
I know, and
yeah,
that's the next one I'm gonna be grabbing soon.
yeah. Starscream is fine. I mean, I enjoyed the movies. Um, let's see. Sorry, I got distracted by the comments. Let's see. You're going to love transforming Bone Crusher when you get around to it.
Yeah, I had watched YouTube videos so far.
Yeah, let's see. Oh, cool. So
Oh,
Freakenstein
okay,
does
cool.
transformation. Yeah, that'd be cool. If you can post a link in the comments there, Freakenstein, please do. We can get around to it. Maybe we can show it off one day. But but yeah, that's pretty cool. So, um, what is your favorite character?
It's probably gonna have to be the Shockwave, or no, Soundwave.
Soundwave?
Yeah, Soundwave.
So overall, I'm talking like G1 movies and all that, just favorite character, no matter what version he comes out, it's something that you're just attracted to. That would be Soundwave.
Yeah, it would have to be Soundwave, especially the whenever he showed up in Dark of the Moon.
Yes.
Yeah, Dark of the Moon. I lost like everything, and I was like, "Oh my god!" I that was when my turning point when I started rooting for the Decepticons.
Yeah, so I have never been even back to the G1 afternoon cartoons. I've never been one to pull for the Autobots. Never. I've
Yeah,
always associated with the Decepticons. I mean, come on, guys. It's
they
these.
are so cool.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just something about them. I enjoy them, but yeah, that's pretty cool. So, favorite would be Soundwave. Least favorite,
Least favorite. Oh, people might hate me for this. Probably RC.
thank you, thank you. Thank you. So I don't know what it is for me personally, but
Me neither.
any of the and I'm gonna sound extremely just misogynistic for this, but any of what they used to refer to as the fembots. So RC, Alita One, Chromia,
Hmm.
I hated all of them. And it wasn't because they're female bots.
No,
It's
yeah.
their transformation. So the one that comes to mind to me, what really it wasn't like a diehard hate. It's like, oh my god, I despise these. I still collect them. I have quite a few. But the one that really just kicked it off for me was actually the studio series set of three that they
Hmm.
come out with from I think it was from Dark of the Moon,
Yeah.
and
It
they
was.
had Chromia, RC,
Oh,
and Alita One all in there, and I mean they are literally this small. I mean they are the same size as mini cons and just cheap. It's like you pull the back wheel down and then two arms out and that's it. And I was like, this is so cheap. This clearly just a money grab. Now
no,
I
honestly.
will say when Machinima did the limited cartoon run, Combiner Wars and stuff like that. They had the who was the city speaker? The what is her name? Doggone it. Somebody's somebody knows it in the comments. She played the city speaker. She spoke to Metroplex. What is her name? Windblade. Yes. So Windblade is actually I'm not saying she's my favorite, but she's a lot better than the others. So there's some characters in the movie, especially if you go all the way back, where they have decided to, hey, let's make them mainstream, right? So
Hmm.
Bumblebee was never a main character in anything. He was always just a sidekick. He was there. It's just like Hound. It was always Optimus, Shockwave, Starscream, and Megatron, and Ironhide and Ratchet. That was the core, right, of the first cartoons. And then the live action Bayverse started, and that's when Bumblebee went to the next level. And now he's just as big in popularity and collecting wise as Optimus Prime or even Megatron, sometimes even more so. And they did that with Elita One, and the rest of the girls as well, made them a lot more popular, which is fine. But again, it all goes down to design aesthetics
Hmm.
for me,
Hmm.
and they just I don't know, seem to be lacking in quality.
Yeah.
Windblade, I do have the deluxe version of Windblade, and she's actually put together fairly well. I think she's represented in robot mode on the card back, and you can look at that. She's got the Japanese samurai styling, not of a what is that? I just watched the series Shogun, so I should know all these Japanese terms. But
Oh
anyway,
my gosh.
that's the way she's styled in that toy line, which is pretty cool. So I don't hate
Hmm.
all of them, but yeah, it's the motorcycles they made cheap. And even if you go back and watch some movies, they had little,
Screen time ever.
if anything, to do with the actual movie. They'd show up and race through. You know, uh, Revenge of the Fallen. I think they've got one or two scenes, where they're racing through the lady's living
They
room.
killed sideways.
Yeah, stuff like that. So, um, yeah, those not Freakenstein, not my favorites at all. So there were way better combiner sets than the five fembots in Combiner Wars. Now, I will say, collectability wise, they were probably middle of the pack. And when you're talking profit or demand wise, there was a 4 pack called the Combiner Hunters. So I acquired several of those and made lots of money off the Combiner Hunters, which is 4 of them, all in 1 pack. So that was the movies were great business for me, but yeah, the actual set wasn't very desirable.
Hmm.
So
Actually, I do have one combiner, which is, well, I don't know if you would consider it, but the mini Devastator.
yep, yep,
I
that's
actually thought
actually
he was going to be a little bigger.
do what now?
Whenever I had ordered him, I was like, "Oh my gosh, he's gonna be like a little bit bigger." And then he came, and I was like, "Oh,
Yeah,
these
so
little guys."
there are a couple variations of that particular one. You had that one, which was the multicolor, and you also had one of the same exact mold, but he was all green, trying to
Mhm.
to make that G1 connection and G1 crossover to kind of to win over the fans. Again, all this is kind of like that propaganda to, hey, you know what? We alienated a lot of people with the movies because now they're calling us Bayverse and there's a split, divide. So you can see some of that in the marketing. Actually, you see a ton of it in the marketing and
Mhm.
even, you know, in the movies. Just like Bumblebee, when they come out with the live action Bumblebee, there's a scene towards the end of the movie where it's actually Bumblebee gets thrown around in robot form, transforms into a car, does a drift, comes back, transforms again, and punches. And that is the opening scene to the G1 cartoon, except it's Jazz instead of Bumblebee. But it is
Mm.
scene for scene the exact same thing. And that was just, and then you got the end credit scene where you've got Bumblebee in his Volkswagen, driving off on the bridge, and then Prime with the cab over the trailer and all that whole 80s retro pulling up beside him, and then as the camera fades away. So all that is trying to cross that bridge, saying, you know what,
Yeah.
the movies were great. They made a ton of movie, but there's still the G1ers out there that we need to satisfy, and
Hmm.
you see, which I think was a good thing.
No,
Um,
exactly.
I didn't shun the movies by any means. I was probably there on opening night for pretty much all of them. Even Rise of the Beast,
Yeah.
not one of my favorites. I was never into the Beast Hunters or Beast
No,
Wars
Beast
or
Wars. No.
never got into it, but you know, it does when you're in business and you see stuff like that, it's awesome because now it's a new line, it's a new
No,
product that you can
exactly.
sell. You figure out how to mark it up or whatever, how you're gonna market. So it's actually pretty good for business. So hopefully they'll churn out a few more. Hopefully they'll get that GI Joe crossover off the ground,
I
and
I
we can
hope so. I
hit the
hope
ground running
so.
with them.
Because that one would honestly be cool to see
Yeah,
if they do the story right.
you know, when you get towards the end, I think it was Age of Extinction, and even the last night, which the last night was considered a bomb, you know, movie wise, but yeah, um,
Okay,
no, I didn't,
refrigerator.
and this is not the place to ask for it. DM me on Instagram. So, but yeah, so hopefully they, if it gets off the ground, which I haven't heard any rumblings. I've got a few
No,
friends in the voiceover industry. I haven't heard any rumblings of castings or anything behind the scenes yet. So hopefully, with the writer's strike and all that other stuff over, um, perhaps it'll get off the ground. But who knows? We'll
exactly.
see.
Yeah,
So, but anyway, all right, man. Well, Aiden, I thank you for your time and
of course.
stepping up and showing off your collection. And we'll do it again sometime. We're
All right.
you guys that are watching, feel free to share the video. Tell your friends, hit the subscribe button. Come check us out. We're going to try to spotlight a collector or someone that has something to do with Transformers or really anything that we, and when I say we, I mean me, uh, are interested in. So hit the subscribe button, and yeah, we'll see you guys again. Aiden, thanks again, man. Thank
Of
you.
course.
Y'all have fun.
All right, you guys too.